I did this flight once before. It's the best way to see Land's End, which is a bit disappointing in the flesh when you're there, but when you fly over it in the helicopter, it does what it says on the tin. The land ends, quite literally. I think that's probably why they call it that, unless it's a huge coincidence. Could be, I suppose. Anyway, you can't see, it's too cloudy.
28 miles southwest of Land's End lies an archipelago of 6 inhabited islands and nearly 140 rocky islets, the Isles of Scilly. I've come here to travel to the final point of my journey around the islands of Britain. But before I do that, I want to check out the local wildlife. On the island of St Martin's, I'm meeting zoologist Anna Corthray and skipper Joe Alsop, who are going to take me snorkeling with seals.
Probably don't need to film me actually getting into the wetsuit. Your way. Never a pretty sight, is it? Do you think the seals get anything out of it?
We're here on a drop in tide, and basically what the seals are doing, they're waiting to haul themselves up on the rocks, and then they'll spend, until the next high water just hauled up on the rocks resting.
Right.
So, if you're thinking of them in human terms, it does appear that they get a bit bored, and we turn up and they kind of have something to do for like
while
half
they're
an
killing
hour.
time, right?
While they're killing time. So when they're up on the rocks, they're quite big and fat and quite ungainly. And then when you see them in the water, you see them in their real kind of environment, and they're very agile and a quick sort of flip of a tail quiver, and they're amazing.
Do they have any predators here in these waters? None at all. Do I have any predators in these waters? Okay.
Obviously, just pop your snorkel in, hand over the mast and snorkel, come back over the side.
Okay.
So I'll go first.
Okay. Right, leg it. Yeah, it was great.
Excellent. Handholds here and here.
Thank you.
And one up the top there.
Yeah.
Do you want to kneel there and I'll take your fingers off?
All right, thanks. That's great. They're like dogs. They're just like dogs. They go and sniff, chew and thing. I saw one sort of fetch a stick out of the seaweed. And then when they go off, beetle off into the weed away from you at the back, they got a tail like a cocker spaniel. Just like a little docked tail.
Well, there's something you don't do every day. But it's time to return to my base on the main island of St Mary's. From St Mary's Harbour, you can catch regular boats to any of the other islands, a bit like buses. My next stop is the island of St Agnes, the most southwesterly inhabited place in Britain. But unlike some boats, buses don't pitch up and down 8 feet in the water.
Here we go.
They also offer some protection from the elements.
Excellent. That was funny, that just came round the windshield straight at me. Oh, I love like that. They were like surfing. That's where we're going, isn't it?
Okay, this is St. Agnes. It's a funny island. There's only 3 buildings, a lighthouse, a pub and a toilet. And the lighthouse is shut.
I don't mind about the lighthouse being closed, but after that crossing, I'm glad there's a pub.
Thanks very much. See ya.
I've come to tiny St. Agnes to get a sneak preview of what is going to be my journey's ultimate destination. Lying 12 miles southwest of Britain's last inhabited island is Bishop Rock, the final outpost of the British Isles. Between the Bishop and North America are over 2,000 miles of cold and often treacherous Atlantic Ocean.
Be lulled into thinking that one's in some sort of make-believe land, but actually these rocks are responsible for hundreds and hundreds of wrecks like all the islands, and they're lethal seas. So lethal that the Victorians built this huge lighthouse, Bishop Rock, made out of granite over there. And it's really high and miles from anywhere, and you have to get onto the top in a helicopter, and I've got to do that, and I'm, to be honest, very scared.
I'm flying with Trinity House, the organisation that maintains Bishop Rock and the other 68 lighthouses in England and Wales. The helicopter has to be small enough to land on the tiny helipad on top of the lighthouse, 160 feet up in the air.
I never used to suffer from vertigo. I don't think I did. I don't remember it. I spent my childhood up trees on Wimbledon Common.
I'm just going to keep the landing speed
But
until...
9 years ago, when my daughter was born,
Lovely, thanks.
I started to worry about everything, buildings falling on top of me, and I get this daft vertigo thing. It's not a common sense thing. It doesn't completely freak me, but it makes me very uncomfortable. So the prospect of landing in a helicopter 160 foot above the rocks on top of a lighthouse, I find slightly unnerving. Watch this space. There it is. Oh my God. We're here. I don't like this. Right here, this is the most southwestern tip of the British Isles, allegedly one of the smallest islands in the world, if not the smallest island in the world, and I'm 160 foot up above it. If you went due west in that direction, the first land you'd hit would be Newfoundland in North America. If you went, that's 2,200 miles away. If you went due south, 440 miles, you'd hit Spain. If you went north 150 miles, you'd be in Ireland. And east, about 180 miles, my home in Dorset. And as I said, 160 foot above sea level. And actually, the more time I spend up here, the better it is. Or not. All my joints are fizzy. But there you have it. Bishop Rock. Can I go now?
My flight to Bishop Rock brings my journey around the islands of Britain to an end. It's been a roller coaster ride. I've discovered a whole hidden island world which I never knew existed and met some extraordinary people.
Egil Magnusson.
Is that your real name?
No, my real name's Derek.
Oh, right.
But I've also realized that while islands can create a real sense of community and arouse strong feelings about identity, they can also be fragile too, and are often threatened by larger forces beyond their shores. But whatever is thrown at them, Britain's islanders have, above all, an extraordinary capacity to adapt and survive.